themselves like tirelessly like in their basement or something than like a big project made by like a studio that has like, I'd rather see one person's sort of like dream vision for their cartoon rather than like some like kind of like soulless, well, not soulless, but think but made by like a studio.
Yeah, like an industry made kind of thing. So
Exactly.
yeah. No, I can definitely get that. And definitely as I'm more and more into getting more into the internet and stuff like that, there does seem to be this like cultural shift of like people are starting to recognize like, oh, this is this, these very industry, you know, written by committee kind of like projects versus your more passion projects from people from like an independent artist or one person. And I'm definitely starting to see a little bit of a shift for like more appreciation for artists that are just kind of doing it on their own. So
Exactly.
yeah. And then I'd say like, not to stomp on like, people who work in corporate industry things, like they're definitely doing their passion, doing their job. Like, I'm sure somebody's definitely has a story they need to tell in that. But yeah, but you could definitely tell like, some series and movies kind of get bogged down in the commercial of it and trying to appeal to everybody, and then they end up not appealing to anybody. So
or they end up getting canceled too early, can never get their full vision or message across.
Or that too. And I'll definitely be coming back to that. And here we are, here we are. So my next question is, and this is just kind of my just general curiosity. What are your thoughts on like the state of Cartoon Network and just now and just overall just kind of like the state of like televised cartoons in general?
Yeah, so I actually know a little bit about this. For example, when's the last time you sat down and watched TV? And I'm not talking about Netflix. I'm talking about TV on a television.
Here's the thing: I don't, because I don't have a TV with where I'm
Exactly.
living now. I normally like it's when I like I go to like my partner's place, or maybe I go to like a friend's place, and they'll have like a family TV, and occasionally I'll watch cartoons or some some TV just for the sake of nostalgia. But yeah, on a day-to-day basis, no, I haven't. I don't watch a lot of TV. So
Rarely people are watching TV. I don't own one. And it's all streaming services. So now shows are being made strictly for streaming services. I know Netflix is killing it. They've been killing it since the start. They're killing it now. But HBO Max, that's what all the Cartoon Network stuff on.
Yeah.
They're making just exclusive HBO Max stuff. I think it's called The Fungies. They're about little mushroom people. Infinity Train, which is a great show. So I'm seeing this huge shift in, kind of like, all right, we're a television network. We don't want to, we need to adapt or else we will die because TV is dying. Yeah. So, we've got to get on the streaming. We got to get on streaming. That's why you see all these different streaming networks. There's too many. I would start listing them off, but I'd literally be here all day. And they're all competing with each other, but it's just like everything is going to online. And I know Cartoon Network themselves, they're doing all these things to try to like get more audiences. Like they have a new preschool block now.
I heard about that. Yeah. Told me about that. They got a preschool block, which is funny because you would think they would do that sooner, like but
exactly.
But now they got preschool block now.
But it kind of shows that like, oh, even my favorites, even these big, Cartoon Network's been out here forever. It's like, oh, how could Cartoon Network possibly fail? But it's like, oh, you see them struggling, and same with Nick, same with Disney. Everything's on streaming now, so it's you're seeing like the shift in focus. Everything is going on to streaming. More emphasis is being put on streaming. They kind of care less about their TV market because it's just not there anymore, and it's really interesting to see. And of course, with Netflix, they have so many shows, and they're like the standard. So I feel like whatever Netflix does, everyone will follow quickly behind.
Yeah, definitely.
Netflix has some great shows.
Yeah, they have a lot. I just started Squid Games yesterday. It's a pretty insane show. It's really good too. I might do like a little review on it later, but it has a lot to say about like capitalism and class and everything. It's a
Squid
wild
Game
thing.
is a crazy show. I was so upset when I finished Squid Games. I won't spoil anything though, but
Yeah. I think each episode is like an hour of a piece, isn't it? So it's just kind of like
mm,
it's almost like sitting down having to watch a like a movie a piece, really. So yeah, I'm used to it. I used to watch Sherlock, and they used to do like those episodes are pretty much 90 minutes a piece, so you're pretty much getting like 3 movies a season, which isn't that bad.
exactly.
But I've always kind of found that interesting, like just this big cultural shift from television to streaming, and now everything's being released for streaming. You don't have the episode, which I kind of missed. You don't have the episode to episode anticipation that you have now.
It's all at once.
Yeah, just everybody can just get it all at once. You just hear it is. You can watch it when you can. If you catch up, you catch up. If you don't, you don't. And you're just gonna have to avoid
You're out of the
spoilers.
loop, exactly. I
Yeah,
was seeing nothing but Squid Game, Squid Game, Squid Game, Squid Games. It's like, oh my god, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to,
yeah,
And
and
it's the same thing with cartoons now too. I know the Owl House is big. It's just where it's like you see it constantly in your like little online circles. You're like, I'm a loser if I don't watch it, so I better
yeah, definitely.
better
Yeah, I
hop
need
on
to.
it.
I need to watch Owl House. See, I've heard good things about it. I heard it got canceled too just recently, and
Hmm.
I've got a big thing about that. But yeah, it seems like the culture's so fast now when it comes to entertainment. Like, and you know, Squid Games was the big thing this week. Though, what's gonna be the next big thing next week, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's just keeps going fast. It's crazy, kind of overwhelming to me, if you ask me. But
Exactly. And as like a content creator, like as yourself, and especially with my TikTok stuff, you gotta like follow twin trends,
yeah,
but it's becoming increasingly harder and harder to do so.
yeah, because you gotta keep up with it and stuff like that. I just last year got TikTok because I was trying to avoid it at first. A lot of my friends are trying to avoid it. We try to be contrarians as much as we can be, but you gotta move on with the culture. And I do legit enjoy it. There are some nice things about it. Um, I mean, partially it's just me missing Vine, so that's probably what it is. And so it's
The
kind of
hole in your vine shaped heart.
yeah, exactly. It's just kind of that Vine substitute, and people seem to be doing a lot more with it than they did with Vine too. They definitely seem to be for marketing, for their political rants and stuff like that. So it is interesting. But
Yeah.
but yeah, just the state of cartoons now is just kind of crazy. They're moving everything on HBO Max. Uh I do need to watch Infinity Train because I've heard some really good things about that.
It's really good.
Yeah, it looks good. I watched the first 2 episodes. It just looks intense. But yeah, and yeah, it just turned a Cartoon Network. Yeah, it is kind of sad because I know for a minute they were doing like for a long time, like even my partner and I even noticed it. Like they were showing was like just big blocks of like Teen Titans Go or big blocks of Gumball and stuff like that. And I've kind of gotten over the hate over Teen Titans Go. Like I mean, I know at first people were going like, oh, it's not the original stuff like that. But at this point, Cartoon Network's just like, man, this is our SpongeBob, man. We're gonna capitalize on this.
And
So.
they need to. Like
Yeah,
they're I was about to say, like, as much as I hate I don't hate Teen Titans Go. I actually think it's kind of funny. But as much as I don't like how they're only running Teen Titans Go, that's their lifeline. They kind of need that more than anything. So that's
definitely.
their cash cow.
I
I was
mean,
about to
that's
say, like, without Teen Titans Go, I can dislike how much I see it as much as I want, but they're responsible for keeping my favorite network alive. So
yeah, it's just kind of the blessing and the curse of it. It's just that they need money and that they know where their money is going into. But it does kind of I don't know, it does kind of bring up the whole thing about because early you had mentioned creators they have their vision but they get cut off from it instantly and such and such. And it's interesting because I had just done I think it was like last year, maybe it was just a few months ago, but I had done a blog post about the ending to Steven Universe, and I had and there was kind of this big controversy behind it. Well, maybe not controversy like in general, but like controversy among the fan base about like how the ending landed and how people don't like it and all this stuff and all this stuff. But I looked into the background of like why it ended and why
Because
it
the
felt,
wedding.
yeah, why it felt so sudden, and it was the wedding. And yeah, I looked into it, and Rebecca Sugar was talking about how like, yeah, so all this LGBTQ stuff that I tried to put into it didn't appeal much to the marketing team of Cartoon Network because they want to try to appeal to the international market. I'd imagine it's kind of the same for Disney too. They want to, there's a big thing about their Marvel movie about the Eternals. They're about to have a gay couple in it, and there's just debates about like how much of this can we really show, and it's going to appeal to international markets, and et cetera, et cetera. So, and yeah, and I just kind of had me thinking like, wow, like, is this really what it's like working in the industry if you had to do so much compromise?
And that's exactly why I said, like, I'd rather see someone, on the internet doing their own thing, because at least then they won't have to follow all these restrictions and regulations and rules. They could just do whatever they want. And that's just their vision, untouched by the corporate hands.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's just, the more corporate and industry you kind of get into, the more rules you have to follow and in terms of making money. And it really sucks too, because I did, I do like Steven Universe. I think the first season it's kind of but even then she went into why the first seasons, why there was so much filler episodes, et cetera, et
Exactly,
cetera.
because that's what like Cartoon Network wants out of Steven Universe. When she wants this big episodic thing, they want a day-to-day Steven Universe story.
Yeah, they said they wanted season one, the silly kid that goes on adventures with his three moms, et cetera, et cetera. But what she wanted was like this big, like, almost like space opera kind of like, romance and drama and stuff like that. And Cartoon Network didn't want that. And there's the whole LGBTQ thing that, and apparently I hear at the time there was, an openly gay person that was like the head of Cartoon Network. So it wasn't necessarily like, oh, they hated it necessarily, but when you're in that position, you gotta appeal to the markets. So
Yeah,
and
you
it,
gotta have money.
yeah, and I know it sucked. And I heard there was a similar issue with OKKO where like suddenly they were writing like season 3, I believe, and they were suddenly told like, hey, we're gonna pull the plug on the show. And they had like a limited amount of time to write a show that like wrapped up everything real quick and just got like, here it is. And I don't know, it sucks. It really does.
I don't think that one was from like any LGBTQ related things, but I do know there
Yeah.
is a gay couple. The main character, Enid, she's got a girlfriend, I think, but I think that was just because like the show like lost traction. And like I think what happened to that also just happened to the Owl House. We're just like they just go, all right, well, time's up. Sorry, this is out of nowhere, but hey, wrap it up. You've got what, 4 more episodes? Hop to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just crazy. Just I mean, I mean, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but there does seem to be like this big cultural shift of like how much of the cultural change can we show in cartoons, and why are so many of these shows that people love that seem progressive suddenly get canceled. So, and again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not going to say call shenanigans on that, but I don't know, there definitely does seem to be a trend of that going on. So it's crazy. So, yeah, but I think it's sad for the artists because they can't finish their vision. So
Exactly.
yeah. Okay, so getting down to the last three. If you were to teach an animation course, what are some of the materials or examples that you would use, other than your own, of course?
Definitely. This is like required. Whenever people ask me advice on what to teach animation, I always start with the classic. This is like a classic animation technique. It's the 13 principles of animation. This is kind of like required, or no, it's 12 principles of animation. These are like the rules of animation itself.
Okay.
I know it's a book, but it's just like kind of like commonly found everywhere. It's by Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson. Those guys were Disney animators, so they know what they're talking about. And it's basically the rules or like things that you can implement into your animations that'll make it like more kind of more cartoony, more expressive, more what you want to see. So like, for example, if you want to have like a character who is like punching someone, right? You could do this. This works, okay? But it'd be more expressive if you have them like reel back, wind up, and then move their entire body forward instead of just a weak little wimpy punch. That's kind of like what the 12 principles of animation is like. And that's just how you make an animation more appealing. I would teach that along with the software. I think that's really important. I still remember my first animation teacher, because he's the one who taught me Flash or Adobe Animate, which I still use to this day. I was using it yesterday. I think just a program. It's like you can have all this knowledge of animation, but what are you going to do with it when you can't, actually use it to something? I would teach them to have fun. I would teach them to be prideful in their work, and I would teach them that like it's like, everyone wants to make this super high quality animation, but that's not really necessary. You can have a cute little simple animation character and still work. I'm seeing people on TikTok, they're making videos where they have like a little creature, they have like a little character, a cute little character, and that's their gimmick, that's their thing, and they just have it, maybe they bob them down, maybe they like make a cute little smile, and it works because it's appealing to watch, it's cute. You don't always have to be this Pixar Disney animator to make something good.
Yeah, definitely. I think, and especially like with the Adult Swim era, like you could definitely, show. And then I know adult animation and animation made for kids is kind of like a whole different ball game. But I don't know. I think they've definitely shown that like you can make some really interesting stuff just with the limited
Exactly.
animation, and not everything
Literally,
necessarily has to
Aqua
be
Teen is
crisp.
like the characters go like ah, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
They're really
yeah,
stiff. They barely.
basically.
The Master Shake, he wobbles around. He doesn't walk like it's
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's like nothing. But we all love Aqua Teen.
Exactly. Space, even all those, like almost a lot of those adult animation, like Space Coast to Coast is basically just them using old footage of the Space Coast cartoon and just them dubbing over the lips and getting like guest people to show up, and of course infamously South Park just uses the same model like every episode. They just kind of they just kind of move around and stuff.
And it works.
Yeah.
And like even that, because Teen Titans Go, the South Park and Teen Titans Go, it's the same animation style where they're just puppets.
Yeah,
so like
basically.
yeah, and I mean that's more time effective. It looks better if you just have, if you don't like, I should be using it like
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely for what it works. I also hear those guys, the South Park dudes. They maybe I don't know how true it is now, but I know like a few years ago they had that documentary about how they make an episode in like 6 days. I'm like, wow, that's really insane that they write, direct, animate, then record all the voices within a matter of 6 days. It's kind of insane, really.
They
So,
have to though, because their stuff relies on like pop culture and trends more than any other show.
yeah,
So it's just
definitely.
like, oh, this is big now. Make this
Yeah,
now.
definitely. I know, and like I know they have to be in a writer's room. They have to like be in tune with the culture. Like, okay, so what can we say about this? Yeah, I know it's really interesting. I used to follow the South Park people, Matt Trey and Stone Parker. I think I reversed their names. I don't know, but I used to follow those guys a lot in terms of just how they create their show, how they stay on time and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's like and I don't necessarily agree with everything they say, just politically and culturally, but just from like a writer creator standpoint, I've always kind of admired just their speed and just how they're able to just be in tune with the culture like that. So
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. They're gonna be making South Park forever too.
apparently,
They just got renews for like 6 more seasons. We're gonna be in our 40s and South Park is still gonna be running.
God, like our kids are gonna be like, y'all watch South Park? Like, man, we've been watching South Park since we were like 8. Oh my God. it's crazy, and it's just those two guys. I mean, I don't think it's just those two guys. They obviously have like a team of animators, a team of writers, but like it's just those two guys just running the whole thing, and they've been doing it for years. It's almost admirable for real, for real. Like it's crazy. Yeah, and they work within a studio too. Like
Yeah.
they're working in the Comedy Central, and I don't know how much control they have over it, but it seems like they have a lot. So,
And it's crazy too, because that's not all they do. I remember I was watching Despicable Me 3, and one of them voices like the main villain in that.
yeah, I think I saw that too. I was like, I haven't seen any of those movies, but
I was like, what?
I was like, yeah, I bet he's happy to get that extra check. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely using this to our advantage. That's the Book of Mormon too. I don't know if you ever seen Book of Mormon, but Book of Mormon's really
Book
fun.
of Mormon?
It's a musical that the South Park people wrote. It's really it's fun. It's fun. I mean, it has that offensive, edgy kind of humor that South Park kind of has, but it's genuine. It's fun. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
Balthazar Bat is voiced by Trey Parker. I was like, what?
yeah. It's crazy. I mean, I'm glad he's getting more work. I mean, I don't think he just has to just do South Park. You can.
That's kind of what I want to be. We're just like, I'm this guy who can just do that's what I'm like training for now. It's like I want to be able to voice act, I want to direct, I want to animate, I want to make music. That's still work in progress. I want to be able to just be able to do all of this stuff. Not even necessarily just do it. I just want to be able to.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I was gonna actually, I was gonna ask you something about that because I see you do all the voices, correct? Or
Not all of them. Mainly just the main two characters. I do both of their voices, but recently I used to be super kind of protective about my show because that's my baby, you know. I gotta
yeah,
be careful
definitely.
around my baby. That's my vision. But recently, even now, I've been holding auditions just kind of online, just to be like, hey, you know, do you guys want to like, does anyone want to voice act to these characters that I have that are upcoming in the coming episodes? And of course, like the whole show, it doesn't really have a budget, so it's kind of like for free. But I'm still blown away with just how many people just want to like be a part of something, and it's really interesting. But I have a whole, I'm getting together a whole cast of different voice actors for all my various characters, and it's just great. I kind of actually just feel like an actual showrunner now instead of just some kid in his mom's house making cartoons. You know,
Yeah, I
now
mean,
I'm in school. I'm far away. I'm working on what I am, getting better. I've got a whole team behind me, a kind of a
yeah,
loyal. It's niche, but a loyal fan base, and it's great.
yeah. I mean, hey, I think you're making great numbers. Like your videos, they get, they're in the thousands, and I think that's great. Just starting off, definitely. So,
That's
yeah,
actually the main reason I do TikTok is because TikTok is like just amazing promotion for myself and my show, and that is like the number one reason I still on there and I do all the TikTok stuff is because it's like I kind of know how to be big on TikTok, and of course when you're making animations by yourself on YouTube, like you're not getting it, you're not getting money, you're not getting
oh
any
yeah, no,
followers, you're not
oh
getting
yeah,
a whole lot unless you're like following the trends with animation and making like like non-original, like if you're making like non-original stuff like parody content, like that's how you do it. But you know, it's just like, all right, that's cool, it's not
yeah,
fun. I don't care that much about
yeah,
Among Us. I'm not gonna make an Among Us cartoon. No, I'm gonna make this
yeah.
cartoon where my own characters, I'm putting my vision and voice into it and everything.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and hey, like you're doing it. And you say you're not originally from LA. You say you're from uh,
I'm
what you
from
say?
Florida,
From
but
Florida,
I live now in Georgia.
in Georgia. Oh, okay. I mean, hey, and then you're like, and you're doing it, man. Like you're just doing it, man. I mean, you're on the right path. I think. Yeah,
Hope
definitely.
so.
Yeah, definitely. Uh,
Well, regardless or not, I'm still having fun while doing it. So
and you're having
that's what's
fun.
most
Yeah, and
important.
you're having fun while doing it too. So I think that's the most important thing. I mean, and they all the best artists, all the best bands, they had to start in somebody's basement. So
But I will say though, if you're trying to be like me, you kind of like have to like you kind of have to make catchy content just to get eyes, right?
yeah,
So
definitely.
like I said before, it's just like if I was making only my own show, nobody would be watching, right? I kind of have to make, like, I know I say I don't like doing it. I prefer not to do it. It's not like I hate doing it or anything, but just like I kind of had to make like catchy content to grab people. And like I said
Definitely.
before, it's like you don't have to make the most impressive animation thing ever to grab people. It could be the simplest thing, like you record yourself with your phone and then you animate your character over yourself, and that'll get you like 500,000 views. Like
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's good marketing, I think.
exactly. And then afterwards I go, hey guys, if you like that, you can I got
Yeah,
something else for you
exactly,
guys to
exactly,
watch.
exactly. Yeah, that's the big secret of marketing. I definitely gotta take a page on that. I mean, I'm selling books, so it's not as extravagant, but it's not as extravagant. But hey, you can the
You gotta
internet's
make it
taught me,
work for your niche, yeah.
yeah, the internet's taught me anything. You can make anything exciting. So definitely. Uh, I'm gonna end this recording. This is just for myself, just to come back to for the interview and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie. If I was a podcast master, man, I should have made this into like a podcast thing. This would be great.
Where is it? Where's your podcast?
I don't have the
Listen,
equipment
what you
slash
could
team.
do, right? Have this, okay, and then like it's like you have the podcast, and then for people who don't want to watch the entire hour 50 minutes, you can have your little article, like chop down.
Wow. You know what? It's a good thing I recorded this too. We're good.
that
We got some gems here. We got some gems here.
that idea was free.
That's free. It's free too, right? All right. That was great. That was great. Okay, I'm gonna end this right here.